network in Port Harcourt. It further stated that the agency is not only saddled with revenues generation, but also in charge of professional responsibility by law to regulate every outdoor signage exposure in the state through their third-party provision.
Address to the acting managing director in the person of Chief Barrister Anthony Okia, who has done tremendously well, taking the agency from where it was to where it is today.
Okay.
You apply this minute to an inspection team, and that inspection team is made up of a safety professional, somebody from compliance, another person from marketing, and also the fourth person from enforcement. There are things we look out for. First and foremost, is it under a high tension or low tension wire? Is it causing traffic blight? Is it something that is on the walkway or government setback? Even if there is a kind of impasse between the owner of the property where it wants to be sited, we always try to tell the practitioner, whoever, go and let's get express approval from the landowner before coming to us to give you an approval. So what happened yesterday, we were not contacted from beginning till what happened.
And further cited criteria necessary before signage exposure and also advise against sharp practices that may cause the destruction of lives and property.
Alakaya level where UPT don't have like, so we're licensed with PHED so that we remove, which I believe in the next 1 or 2 hours we remove the structure. But what happened yesterday, they did not contact us. We don't even know the name of the church. We don't know the location of the church. All we just knew, or what we know as at this morning, is the board where it's. And normally churches, we don't even encourage churches to have boards by their junction. Patronized third-party practitioners, all you can have by your junction is a directional sign pointing to the location of the church. So what happened yesterday is totally out of research knowledge.
Bayelsa state government has approved additional salary for workers. This is coming after the deliberate step to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal on its workers. The Bayelsa state government has promised to begin the payment of extra wage to all local government employees with effect from this month. Deputy Governor of the state, Senator Lawrence Egbuadiepo, who disclosed this at a meeting with local government stakeholders, including the Caretakers Committee Chairman, labor leaders and principal officials of the LGS and Government House, Yenovua. Government also approved 50,000 as wage award to council employees on wage level 15 to 17, while head of the local governments will earn 100,000 as additional salary. Anambra State Professor Chukwuma Soludo says about 95,000 persons made up of pensioners and public servants in the employment of Anambra State and 21 local government areas will be paid an additional 12,000 for the period of September to December 2023 to cushion the effect of the petroleum subsidy removal. Soludo said the gesture is in addition to the 10% salary increase which the state has been paying since January 2023 as part of its foresight in response to the rising inflation. A statement by the governor's press secretary, Christian Abrime, obtained in Aqua while pointing out the long overdue disruptive change, especially the removal of subsidy on petrol, comes with certain hardship on all the residents of Nigeria. Soludo, in a statement, acknowledged that President Bola Tinubu has rolled out an agenda of palliatives towards attributing the effect of the subsidy removal. However, he did not categorically indicate if Anambra State has received its share of federal government palliative aid to be rolled out across the 36 states of the country. But the government assured that Anambra State will partner with the federal government's agenda to ensure that its residents benefit maximally from the federal programs, while assuring that the state government will continue to clear the backlog of gratuity and pension of its pensioners. The governor said the state will be distributing rice to over 300,000 households in the coming week across the 326 ward of Anambra State. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has expressed satisfaction with the level of success recorded so far in the fight against insecurity in the state. The governor maintained that Enugu State has stopped the illegal sit-at-home in the state and assured that the State Security Initiative Distress Response Squad and its complementary command and control center would further boost the security of the state with full in operation. Mba stated this when the new commander of police, CP Kanayo Uzogbu, was at the government house to unveil the pilot scheme of the state's distress response squad initiative that will cover over 100 very high, sophisticated and technological equipped vehicles and full launch. Speaking, CP Uzogbu said he has already noted that the various houses and roads in the state challenged by insecurity, and assured the people of their security as he had since gone on to work to consolidate on what has been achieved. For the state, his vision and mission here is to ensure that the people in the state will sleep with their two eyes closed. All Progressives Congress has assured the House of Rep that the party will go into more membership ahead of the next general election. National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Omar Ganduje, disclosed this when he played host of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Tajuddin Abbas at the party headquarters. Ganduje said the party will do everything within its reach to ensure that all existing grievances among members of the party is properly addressed. On his part, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas told Dr. Abdullahi Omar Ganduje that he visited him to congratulate him on his emerge as the APC national chairman and to encourage him to ensure the party gain more members. Army War College in Nigeria has commenced its joint operation planning exercise for participants of Army War College Nigeria, Naval War College Nigeria, and Air Force War College Nigeria. The exercise, nicknamed Exercise Skyrock 2023, is designed to enable participants effectively respond to compulsory security challenges facing the nation while operating in a joint and multi-agency environment. Speaking to newsmen in Abuja, the Commandant Army War College Nigeria, Major General Ishaya Buba Miena, said the aim of the exercise was to create better understanding of joint operation planning exercise using a live scenarios in futurist theme projecting for the 10 years ahead.
Of the Army War College Nigeria involves aspects of national security, interagency coordination, logistic planning, counter-terrorism, and counter-insurgency, as well as stabilization operations. The Commandant Army War College Nigeria, Major General Isaiah Bubamina, said the joint operation planning exercise would provide forum for the participants who are being trained as operational commanders and staffs to practice planning, preparation, and conduct of operations under different scenarios.
Currently, we are running the joint operations planning exercise, which is meant to exercise our participants. By our participants, I'm referring to both participants of the Army War College Nigeria, Naval War College, and Air Force War College, who are jointly being exercised in the preparations, planning, and conduct of joint operations under very possible live scenarios. And good enough, the exercise this time around was played on a possibility of a live scenario developing in the futuristic terms. So the scenario that was played out now was projected like 10 years ahead from now. What are we likely going to be contending with? As you are aware, the dynamics of the security situation across the country has continued to change. And so therefore, because training ought to be purpose-oriented, so we projected forward to see what are the likely threats that could come about.
Mena added that the exercise will enable participants to effectively respond to contemporary security challenges facing the nation while operating in the joint and multi-agency environments.
And the exercise provides an opportunity for the participants to be exercised together in order to create better understanding, because in the actual sense, when deploying operations, officers conduct these exercises in a joint environment and together. So it cannot be better to have them train together in order to create that good understanding of how to operate. And with that, we were able to play out the scenario, and the participants reacted in line with that scenario, and that has actually provided a very, very good understanding based on the scenario created.
The exercise, which is in its 7th day, has drawn umpires and observers from members of the armed forces and international military assistance partners, among others, with the aim of a deep and sound understanding of participants in the preparation, planning, and conduct of operations at the operational levels to predict and plan for future encounters. Rotimi Adiwi, ATN News, Abuja.
Planned remains of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwill Emefiele, on alleged breach of procurement law and contract inflation has been put off indefinitely due to the purported plan by Emefiele to plead by bargain. The arraignment Emefiele is on a 20-count charge slotted for Wednesday by the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory was not found on the court list. This is coming after Emefiele and his co-accused, Sadat Yaro, has opted for a plea bargain policy to settle with the federal government. Emefiele's lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Kainde Akinlolu, confirmed the shift in alignment, adding that a new date may likely be issued by a Chief Judge, Justice Asani Baba Yaro. Daniel Bowell, on aid to People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may be forced to sacrifice the ministry of the Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike if he goes ahead with his planned demolition of structures in the FCT. This is coming after Nyesom Wike, on assuming office, vowed to demolish houses illegally constructed within the nation's capital, no matter whose property would be affected. Bowell stated this while reacting to the threat in a tweet and charged the minister to learn humility while on his job, adding that Nyesom Wike came with a bullish and vandalous spirit, venting fire and brimstone after demolition and revocation of titles, warning that if creates chaos in the city, he will jeopardize his principal's interests and will be forced to sacrifice his job. Minister of Works David Umar said the federal government will construct a flyover on a permanent solution to end the perennial flooding on the Abuja-Lokoja highway. Umar disclosed this during his tour to inspect ongoing construction works on the Abuja-Lokoja road a day after his inauguration in office. The minister, alongside the governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, and some director in the ministry visited some work sites on the road. According to the minister, the Abuja-Lokoja road is a major gateway that links the southeast South and Southeast region to the Federal Capital Territory and the northern parts of the country. He said priority should therefore be given to it because of its critical roles to the socio-economic life of the country, and urged the contractors handling the road project to use concrete, while adding that there should be a review and redesign of the road contract. They promised to deliver concrete road across the country, saying they were more vulnerable and could last up to 50 years and were also maintenance free. You are watching Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Return after this break. Welcome back. This is the Transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now to the rest of our stories. House of Representatives ad hoc committee staff says it will investigate mismanagement and job racketing in MDAS territory institution and security agencies and lack of compliance in the recruitment of staff into ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government. The committee made this observation during its ongoing investigative hearing in Abuja, adding that the Nigerian Building Research Institute and the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency and the FCT Rural Water and Sensitization Authority, as well as the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, were amongst agencies of government invited to send their normal role to ascertain the level of compliance to the federal character in the recruitment of staff in their various agencies, but all failed to convince the committee. Chairman and members of the committee frown at the development as they call on Director General of the agencies to give reasons for their lockdowns in their various agencies' recruitment exercise.
Why do you have to have 18 staffs from Kogi, 17 from Kaduna, 14 from Imo, and then you have one in FCT, you have two, in Benue you have one, in Rivers you have two, in Zamfara you have two, in Yobe? Why?
If you look at this very document, the second item says all list of staff recruited from 2015 till date and local government area of origin. I just glanced through it. I haven't seen the local government of origins.
We should interrogate the documents that have been given to us, and then you just let us know where the approving agencies have heard, where the waiver agency has also heard, which of course is an omnibus recommendation for all of us in this committee.
Follow strictly the information as requested from the letter given to us. I present as forwarded to the honorable member, sir.
There is no balance in the spread of the staff of the agency with regard to federal character. Some of the things that we are doing here or we are done before I came in. And I think this exercise also will help us while making further recruitment, because there are existing gaps was already observed. So there's no balance, and we are going to close off such gaps once we are granted the waivers to do recruitment.
And that's the size and the package. Thanks for